This is a true story about heroes. Ordinary people like you and me who found themselves in unexpected circumstances and performed honorably. It was July 3rd, 2011. 27 fishermen drove to San Felipe, Mexico for an adventure none of them will ever forget. Imagine 5 days in a tropical paradise, blue cloudless skies over crystal clear waters filled with dolphins and whales. Our ship, the Eric, a 115-foot liveaboard fishing vessel with 44 people on it. We were in full vacation mode. The only thing on our mind was food, fish, and fun. Suddenly, at 2 a.m., tragedy struck. A powerful storm flooded the Eric and knocked out power. Jim Miller, a 71-year-old man with an athletic build, stood on the deck. Jim yelled, "Somebody, give me a knife!" Jim saw that the lifeboats were tied to the ship, and with a pocket knife, he began sawing at the ropes, even while the Eric was slowly swallowed by the Sea of Cortez. Finally, he broke through and floated to the surface with the boats and saved the lives of the people who climbed inside. Meanwhile, if you were a fly on the wall in my cabin, this is what you would have seen. The diagnosis was sleep apnea, which means I snore loud. I snore so loud, my neighbors wear earplugs. Listening to Louis Armstrong sing, "I see skies of blue, clouds of white, a bright blessed day, a dark sacred night, what a wonderful..." "Charles, wake up, the ship is sinking." "The slip is slinking." "No, the ship is sinking," yelled Fish Rich, a guy I met 2 days before the trip. He rushed into the cabin, and once he made sure I was awake, he grabbed his life vest from the top bunk and ran out. I managed to get out of bed, dressed only in my birthday suit. That's just how I roll. And I got out of there. It was like climbing uphill. Dave Levine stood at the front of the hatch and pulled my arm while Ross pushed me from behind. He said it was not a pretty sight. I will never forget the terror in the eyes of my shipmates as they stood braced against the side of the ship, wondering if they were going to live or die. A crew member emerged from the hatch wearing a life vest with another in his hand. He gave it to the guy standing next to me. He turned to me and said, "We have no more life vests. Sorry, senor." Have you ears ever heard something that your brain refused to process? What do you mean we have no more life vests? At that moment, a 30-foot powerful wave thundered across the ship and knocked me into the ocean. It felt like bath water was so warm. My eyes burned from diesel fuel and gasoline. As I treaded water, an ice chest floated near and I grabbed the handle. 2 more ice chests floated up with 5 people holding on to them. We strapped them together so we wouldn't drift apart. And for the next 4.5 hours, we floated in the ocean. No food, no drinking water, and very little hope. At sunrise, we could see islands. Somebody said, "Let's swim." I'm like, I'm not swimming anywhere without a life vest. And Glenn Wong gave me the biggest smile. He said, "Charles, don't say I never gave you nothing." He took off his life vest and gave it to me. Saved my life. We took off swimming, but were quickly separated by gigantic swells and powerful currents. And for the next 10 hours, I was in the ocean alone, fighting for my life. People asked, "What were you thinking about?" It was as if scenes from my life flashed in front of me like a TV screen. And it was Charles on the outside watching it happen. One thought was, it's going to make a heck of a Toastmaster story if I get out of here. And the other thought that kept me going was my wife's father drowned in a boating accident when she was a kid. I couldn't let her husband drown. So I kept kicking and finally swam to a deserted island where I was rescued by 2 local fishermen. They were my heroes. Now I know some of you are thinking, but I don't want to be a hero. Neither did Jim Miller. He said in an interview, we were doomed. Somebody had to do something, so I did. Fish Rich could have rushed into my cabin in a panic, grabbed his life vest and ran out. But he took the time to make sure I was awake. And Glenn Wong, who put his own life in peril by giving me his life vest. Of the 44 people on the Eric, we lost 8. We will never forget them. But it could have been worse had it not been for the heroes, ordinary people like you and me, who found themselves in unexpected circumstances and performed honorably. Madam Toastmaster.